At this point, you must have learned how to make pleat in my previous video. So you place it on your model's head and remember the 45-55 measurement. You're following the 45-55 measurement. That means one side is going to be short and the other side is going to be longer. Do you understand? Now just follow the video and you understand better. Now make sure while laying your pleat, make sure it stretches beyond the ear point. This makes your gele look very neat. You see what I'm doing? I'm arranging it even beyond the ear. I want this thing to be I want you to understand this thing very well. It is easy. Now, when you arrange it well. Don't be scared if the gele is too much at the front. It's fine. When you're done with your gele, you can shift it back to where your client or where you want it to be. So now you cross it over. You're crossing it over, the longer side of the gele goes up. Now this thing I'm telling you, you're supposed to use it in any type of gele you want to tie. The longer side, remember there's a shorter side and there's a longer side. This one I'm raising up is the longer side, and this side goes up while the shorter one comes down. Watch and understand. Now this is the shorter side. You cross it over neatly. Cross the both over neatly. So the longer side comes to one side and the shorter side comes to the other side. I'm not going to tell you which goes to the left or the right, because if I tell you, you may be confused, because as you're looking at this video, my left is your right. I don't know if you understand. So you tighten it well, and when you place it, you arrange your pleat. See this thing, I'm doing it carefully. I'm doing it like a beginner so that you understand that these things are normal. Arrange your pleat. Now the one that is now coming over your gele is the short one, not the long one. No, the short side is coming over. Tell your model to hold the gele firm, the long side firm. Now this short side, you cross it over. I'm sure you can remember from the beginning when I was showing you how to make pleat, that you're supposed to bend it in. Now the one you're crossing over is supposed to be bent in, just like what you're seeing right now. So remember to bend it in, even to the end of the short side. Bend it in. Now you place it over your gele base. Place it over carefully and bring it as very close to the pleats, to the first 3 pleats you make. Don't shift it backwards. So let it be very close. Let it look like it's continuing. It's the 4th pleat, as you are seeing. Do you understand? When you're learning, you take your time. Don't be in a hurry. Make it very close. Now it's time to make your up pleat. You see the way I'm dragging it? You see? Look carefully. Just exactly almost the same way that you do your base pleat. Look, watch me carefully how I'm going to drag it forward. Always start from the middle. Have you seen? That is exactly how to make pleats. You always start from the middle, then you now go to the side and trace the same way you did the middle one, and go to the other side and do the same thing. And when you're making it, make it very close to each other. Not over close, but close enough to look neat and look professional. That's the secret of professional gele. The closer it is. And when you're tracing it, always trace it down. You see, I traced it to the end. Continue that way. Now this short side, we are supposed to make 4 pleats plus the 3 that is down. That will make it 7. I hope you are following me. You're supposed to make 4 pleats. Now I have made 3. Can you see that? You tell your muse to hold it carefully. Not drag it too much, but hold it carefully. You can be adjusting your pleats to be very close to each other as you are laying it. Take your time. I repeat, take your time. Now, after making the 4 pleats, remember the long one. You are going to cross it, carefully cross it, and before you cross it over, bend the edge inside. Cross it over on top of the 4 pleats that you've made. When making gele, make pins your best friend. You see that pin I'm holding in my mouth? Make it your best friend. Now, when you're dropping the long one, you see the point where I want to pin it? That's where you pin yours. Now, pick one of the layers and pin it together. When you're pinning it, make sure the mouth of the pin comes out, so it will mistakenly choke or it won't loosen. So now it's time to make the up pleat. First of all, you drag the down out and raise it up. You see that down? Drag it out. It's going to make the gele more firm, and at the same time, it's going to make the high come out looking very nice. It's time to make pleats. Now, this is how you make high pleats. There is no much difference between the high and the low. The only difference is that it's coming on top of each other on the same line. You see the way I'm doing it? Just practice and you become a professional, I promise you. On top of each other. Down to the edge. As you are placing it on top of each other, make sure you start from the middle, go to the left side. You see what I'm doing? You see what I'm doing? Please, is that difficult at all? Now go to the right side and do the same thing. And as you're doing it, as your model is holding it, when you add one, you remove her hand and put her hand back again. As you're doing it, carefully arrange each pleat. Carefully. You're picking pleats one by one. As you're arranging your pleat, I'll advise you to arrange it rather. As you're fixing it, arrange it. Don't worry, as you're watching, I'll show you how you can arrange it. So, as you're watching this video, make sure you practice. Practice is everything. You can learn something in a very short frame if you practice. As you're placing it, make sure, as a learner, I will advise you to pick each one pleat. As you're placing it, rearrange the old ones that you've done before and tell your muse to hold it firm. Now continue in that way. Drag. You see the way I'm doing it? I didn't fast forward this video, nothing at all. I want you to learn this thing, and I want you to learn it as soon as possible, and I want you to understand that this thing is not difficult. It can take quite of your time, but the results, nothing good comes easy, remember. I turned it over to this side because I don't want my muse to scatter it by holding it, because she could drag it to the front. So you could do that. Always remember to arrange it. And you know, when you're coming up, don't put too much pressure while you're doing it, else you may scatter the old one. Just do it softly, but still do it well. Do it softly, but still do it well. As a learner, by now you should be proud of yourself because you're learning something. So continue laying your pleats carefully. And please, when you're doing practicing from your first practice, just take pictures and send to me, so I'll correct you on what to do. Now, this is not the only way of laying pleats, so dear, in fact, this is not even the way I use, but I'm using this way for you because you are still learning. Now, when you grow in making gele, there are even ways that you do, like what I'm about doing now. That is a way I use to do my gele. I just fold and fold and fold and fold. But I don't want to teach you this method. I want to teach you the one you can use to learn if you don't know how to do it at all. But I'm already doing it though. But I will still losing it. Now that's the method naturally I use when I'm making for people. I don't have time to plate it bit by bit, but it will still come out nice. But I'm just showing you that this is another way of doing it. You see? But it may be a problem for you, being that when you finish doing the up, you won't even know how to trace the edges. So because of that, do it one by one. In fact, even as a professional, it's still advised you do it one by one because nobody is bigger than mistakes. You continue that way until you finish the whole gele. Continue that way. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. I know what I'm saying. You're just learning, so take your time. You see the way I'm bending it? You see the way I'm bending the final edge? That is how you should bend yours. Bend it carefully. There is always time to arrange. Now you see the way I'm arranging it? You see the way I'm arranging it? That is how you should arrange it. When you're laying your pleats, make sure you lay it down. You trace it down beyond your client's ear. Trace it beyond your client's ear and use your hand to arrange it well. See, I'm doing this thing slowly and because I want you guys to follow me. Now, don't mind the way this other way is bending in. When you finish, when you tie it, when you finish, you're going to rearrange the high well. Arrange it down to the end and even beyond the ear. Now, when you're done arranging it, we're going to go to the back. Yes, here is the back. Secure it with your hand. As you're securing it, you fold down those ones that are high. Fold it down. Fold it down. Now it's time to tie. You tie the ends together carefully. Tie the ends together carefully. The other video where I'll be teaching you how to make the V shape, I'll teach you how to tie it better. And when you're tying it, it doesn't always end in the middle, because remember, one hand is shorter and one hand is longer, so it may not tie in the middle, and that even makes it better. So when you're tying one end of the gele, you see there's one end, I left one end of the long gele. One end would not go in with the second one. Like, see the way I'm doing, I'm pushing it in, but actually what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to pin it, but that's not a challenge. So you go back to the front and rearrange the front well. You go back to the front and rearrange it well. Now this is what the front looks like. Now I'm going to rearrange it well. See the way I'm rearranging it? That's how you're supposed to rearrange it. You can drag the high up. You see the way I'm dragging it up? I'm leveling everything together. This is how it's supposed to look like. You see the way it's all leveled? Now, if you're able to achieve this, then you're good to go. Practice makes perfect. So keep practicing, keep watching this video. Now we're going to go to the next video where I'll be teaching you how to tie the V-shaped gele, and that the next video I'm going to be doing it by myself on myself. So watch.